Hey everyone, Zandrous here, and with me today is my friend Samantha. Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
So, this is another episode of Zandrous Reviews, and we're doing it on, as you can tell from the thumbnail, the new Ghostbusters movie. God. Okay, so we're going to start off the first part of this. Is going to be non-spoiler, but we're going to just go over the general stuff here, and what do you think? We'll start with you.
So many levels, just know.
So many levels.
So many levels, just know.
All to know.
Where to even start.
The beginning?
Yes, alright. So, the guy in this house, this...
The Aldrich mansion.
Yes, exactly. Is going through and showing them, well...
It's basically just backstorying for the house.
I'm terrible at non-spoilering.
Well, no, this is in the beginning. We're fine. Basically, we start off with the character from the Office. I think he said he was in.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know. I didn't watch The Office, so. But he's showing the house to a bunch of tourists, and this house has a history. It's the Aldrich Mansion, and talking about Barnum's from was it Barnum and Bailey's Circus? Whatever.
Yes, referencing the work. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. Just little facts about the house, and gets to the store talking about how. All these locked and everything, and that the head of the house, Mr. Aldridge, had locked one of his eldest daughter down there because she went insane once. And, like bloodthirsty insane, killed all the house workers. And, that's why the doors stayed locked. And he's telling the story to these people, and the candle falls off off of the table. So you go check it out a little later on, and he picks the candle up, and it's a controlled thing. So it was a prompt fall-over thing to scare guests. And this leads into, the first ghost encounter. We're not going to go too much into it right here, but this is just the premise. It starts off, setting up the scary house, which it looks kind of normal, mundane, kind of old house. Just a historical thing.
Sure. The one thing I do have to give throughout the movie is aesthetics. I like the way that the house looked, and the way they had all that set up.
Well, I mean, that wasn't throughout. It was just the beginning.
Well, sure.
But I mean, I like the house in concept, and what they were doing with it was fine. I don't really care for the cinematography in the scene or any of the scenes, to be honest. But in the beginning, I started off with some promise, even if the acting in the beginning was kind of meh for me. Like, he wasn't believable to me, and when he delivered his lines. That's to me.
I actually liked the way that he was interacting with the people. He sounded like the person that he was meant to be.
Well, no, but away from the people is where I'm like, it's not sounding as creepy and scary. He's just talking to himself. It just didn't feel like he believed what he was saying. Even if this shit starts happening to him.
Sure.
But we go from, this beginning, which is kind of, setting up a mood. It's going to be kind of creepy, eerie, maybe not as scary as I would like for this to have been, but, something that still kind of feels like the beginning, like the library from the first movie.
I liked the feel.
And then everything goes downhill from here. Bad. Now, I didn't hate the movie as much as she did.
That's true.
I still hate the movie. Definitely. I felt it was a mediocre movie, but what I hate about it is the fact that it's a Ghostbusters movie and what they did with it, with the whole Ghostbusters thing. That's where I hate it. And no, it has nothing to do with vaginas. So don't give me that bullshit.
Unfortunately, my distaste for the movie falls a lot into that category, into the category of how much so this was meant to coexist with the feminist movement.
It had a big feel of third wave feminism. I agree. There was a lot of it that was like that. But the problem isn't that they're women.
Of course
I
not.
was fine with the female leads. At first, I was kind of like, I felt like it was a gimmicky thing. At first, it was like, why is it all women? I mean, it's fine, whatever. But it's like, do we need it to be all female, not a mixed thing? But I was like, I was willing to give it a chance when it was first announced.
Sure. I
started seeing the cast announced. I'm like, I don't know who two of these people are because I had no idea who Leslie Jones or Kate McKinnon were. And I knew a little bit about Kristen Wiig, and I'd seen her in a few things I thought she was fine in. Or at least that she had done parts in, even if she wasn't on screen, she was a character. I've seen things I've enjoyed. And Melissa McCarthy, I'm not a big fan of. So I was already kind of like, with the movie at that point. And then the marketing thing happened and all that, but we're getting off track with the movie. But the point is, I don't have a problem with the women being women in this movie. I have a problem with the women being bad characters.
Absolutely.
In fact, I will say this. I expected the worst character to be Leslie Jones's character because I thought she was going to be the overly loud, obnoxious, big, black, loud woman stereotype. I really thought that's what's going to be. And while she has moments like that, she isn't that bad.
Thankfully, yeah.
Yeah, she's not that bad.
Absolutely. And you could tell she was giving her all to her character, too.
I don't know about that. I think she tried. For sure. I think a lot of them tried.
That's true.
Some of them tried too hard, for sure. But I think that with what she was given, Leslie Jones did the best with what she had.
Absolutely.
And she comes out of this better than the other three by far, in my opinion. I think we can both agree, at least for me, that Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig's characters of Aaron... what was it?
Aaron and...
Gilbert. Aaron Gilbert and what was it? Abby Yates. They were interchangeable. They're not really unique from each other that much. They're the same kind of character, kind of happy characters. They're trying to be funny, and they're a little bit witty. And, they babble at each other, and the jokes they did. There was no difference to them to me.
I saw a lot more relatability to them with a cartoon character, cartoon friendship, rather than actual people. When things were meant to be serious or when some thought should have gone behind actions, it wasn't there.
No shit. That gets to the other character. Kate McKinnon's character of Holtzman. I can't remember if it's Jenny Holtzman or whatever. I don't care about her first name, but Holtzman. This is the character.
I love her.
This is the character that people are saying, "Oh, she's so funny in this," and she was my favorite of the cast. Even if the whole thing was kind of bad, she was the shining light. Bullshit.
There were pieces of her character that had they coexisted with better humanistic traits.
Reality is the word you look for. Bear with reality.
Yes.
No one. Sorry if this jars like pound tables. There might be table pounding in this. No one acts like this character seriously. They act that way ironically, maybe. They act like this in bad movies. She is the oh my god, I'm so random quirky character. She's one that's always dancing around or humming something or just doing something. Mugging. She's mugging all the time. And it's not believable. She takes nothing seriously at all. And they try to give her one moment of seriousness at the end during the toast, which is the end of the movie. They toast their success. And she's leading this toast and she starts getting emotional. And I'm just like, I don't fucking believe a second of it.
There were other moments in the movie where emotions would have been necessary.
We'll get into that. That's
any
spoiler
decent
stuff.
person.
Oh, yeah, none of these people are decent people. They're not even decent characters, much less people.
So then once it comes to that point, if that's what's making her tear up, it doesn't. I don't comprehend that. It doesn't
make
grok
sense.
for me.
It doesn't make sense. Her character makes no sense. Her character has no sensibility. I did not like Kate McKinnon's character. In fact, I was angered a lot by her character because it's so damned annoying. But speaking of annoying characters, we'll go from the women to the men. Let's go to Chris Hemsworth's character. I hated it. I hated Chris Hemsworth's character. People were saying how funny he was. And I've heard some people like, no, he's just dumb. It's a dumb character. He's just so stupid. And I had heard about some of the stupid stuff he does. And again, we'll get into that.
I love dumb characters.
Yes.
Let's go, Kronk, Emperor's New Groove. I absolutely
But he's a character
love
with
him.
heart, though.
Yes.
I like Kronk. I like Emperor's New Groove. I like that character. I even like the little Kronk's New Groove sequel they did. That was just a bunch of little cartoon shorts, kind of put together. And I like the character, and I'm fine with stupid characters.
They tried to do that same level of stupid. And
No. This isn't same level stupid. This is new level stupid.
That's what I'm saying. They tried.
Okay, anyone that has ever criticized Family Guy because of how stupid the characters are, especially Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin has nothing on Chris Hemsworth's character, in my opinion. Peter's character is obnoxious and stupid, and they've turned it to the nth degree in later years. But if we're looking at classic level Peter just being stupid and doing stupid stuff, I have no idea how Chris Hemsworth's character is alive. How he eats, how he breathes, it makes no sense. He should not be alive.
Natural selection should have got him.
God damn should have.
Well before he walked into that office.
How does he drive? How does he know how to drive a fucking motorcycle? We'll get more into him in spoiler sections too.
Yep.
The villain. We'll talk about the villain, Rowan. Again, I can't remember his first name, but Rowan. Well, that's his first name. I can't remember. Yeah, it was his first name. His last name I can't remember.
That was one of his names.
his
Somewhere in
first
there,
name.
his name was Rowan.
His character is, I'm the bullied guy, and I'm kind of socially awkward, and I'm nerdy, and I'm smart, and everyone deserves to die. So, ghosts. Yeah. His thing is, the whole main narrative is, at one point, Yates and Gilbert wrote a book. It's put out by Yates without Gilbert's wanting it to happen. Kristen Wiig's character, she didn't want it to happen. She's trying to get tenure at her college, and the book comes out. Rowan gets inspiration from this book to do this stuff, and his plan is basically to go around to these ley lines. Sorry, fly. Go around these ley lines and set up these machines that instigate ghosts in the ley lines, like activating the ley lines. Sorry, it's her dog. Sorry about that.
That's my bro.
You stop. Stop. No. But he's using these ley lines, getting these ley lines powered up with these machines, and then he's going to set off what he keeps calling the fourth cataclysm, which makes no sense. I don't know what the first three were. What is the fourth cataclysm? There's no thing here. But his whole thing is, I was bullied, and because people bullied me, I'm going to cause the apocalypse.
Pretty much.
And he's boring.
He's
not even really creepy.
There's not a lot of connection for you to feel any level of, I don't want to say sympathy, I don't know just what it is.
There's no sympathy here. No, because they try to give you the sympathy, like the two waitresses in one scene, they're off talking about, like, oh god, the creepy guy, I don't know, like, your turn. And they're seriously standing not too far away from him. He could hear them, I'm sure. Which again, it's like, oh, okay, these people are dicks to him. Okay, yeah. Fine. But he's still a dick too. And he's wanting to kill everyone, even people that have had no connection, because society this, and he was downtrodden and bullied, and he's the twisted, dark version of Yates and Gilbert, and he's so tortured and troubled. So everyone needs to die. Basically, it would be nice to have sympathy for a character if every character in this movie wasn't an insufferable ass.
Every one of them.
There's no redeeming characters. Even Patty, the character I actually liked a bit, has a big character flaw. In fact, all of them do, the fact that she doesn't care. None of them care about what goes on. The mayor was a dick.
Even in the beginning, because you've already mentioned the book, and you've already mentioned that it was released by Abby against Aaron's...
Without Aaron's knowledge, it has her name on it.
She knew they'd, written it and had copies, obviously, but not that it was to be published at that point. They had discussed and agreed upon it not happening. Why would they not have a discussion and, where they would release the book after she got her tenure?
Well, no. But they did. They did have this conversation. But again, we'll get into the spoiler on that one part later. But basically, it makes no sense that this book was even released.
Right.
Without Aaron knowing. I guess I'll call her Aaron now instead of Gilbert, because the last name is, it's like I'm talking about Gilbert Godfrey, I guess. I don't know. The last names I'm not too fond of. They're not that memorable. Maybe Holtzman, but memorable name does not make a good character. But Aaron and Abby, they had a falling out. Abby puts this book out without Aaron's knowledge. Aaron comes to her saying, take the book down, take my name off, something. She's trying to get tenure. And Abby refuses, flat out. Doesn't want to do it. So she's an ass.
That alone, you lost me my really, really, really good job, and now I'm unemployed. That's not a great thing.
No, that was after all this, after they kind of started making up because of the first ghost encounter.
Right.
But it just, no character here comes away unscathed. And again, we'll talk more about that one. Sorry if this is rambling at the moment. We're both trying to put our thoughts together here, because this is the first time I've done a two-person thing like this. So, but the other characters, we'll go to the other characters from the other minor characters. We'll talk about the mayor. He's an asshole. The mayor's assistant. She's an asshole.
This is a trend.
What was another one? The guy that you were talking about at the beginning. He's a fucking wimp and an idiot.
Yeah.
The guy that owns the place is kind of just absent-minded. He's not really an asshole or anything, but he has no point.
Right.
He's just there. Then there was the guy from the music hall, from the concert scene, where they had their second big ghost encounter, and he's kind of an ass, and he's a wuss, and he He wasn't acting. I can't remember his full name, but he was the guy that did the Stewart skits from Mad TV. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm trying to watch this. I know he can act.
Right. I would love to see him
Act.
cast in a movie that's, like a decently sized part.
If you ever seen Austin Powers and the guy goes, no, with the steamroller,
That's him as well.
that's better acting than what we saw in this from him. And that was over the top and funny. This, he's trying to kind of be effeminate a little bit, which is fine. I don't really care that he's effeminate. I care the fact that his acting was just stale and flat and uninspired. It's like he didn't care. And it just, yeah. So he wasn't even a character I cared about. There were 2 FBI agents that just were there. They did nothing. And they're kind of assholes and incompetent. Then there was the driver from the Deadpool movies. Movies. I can't wait for a second.
May well, you know what? That may well be our one.
No.
No, because he was a jerk too.
He was
wasn't
lazy. He was a lazy kind of jerk.
But
yeah. The running soup joke. Yes, he was a delivery guy for the Chinese place in the movie.
he was
and he
possibly one of my favorite characters, though.
He's still lazy.
Yes.
He's still lazy. And again, he's kind of didn't care. And again, that's not a redeeming character. I mean, I didn't really chuckle at it because I already knew what the running gag was going to be with it, and it was just the soup joke. The entire movie. Soup.
Sure.
Sorry, the soup thing was just stupid, too.
I was alright with the running soup. I thought the running soup was okay. It was better than some of...
No, because it had nothing to it. And it leads to the whole thing with Rowan later, which we'll get into, but it's like they talk about soup there for no reason. Soup, something to live for. And outside of those characters, that's really it for main characters. I mean, you talk about the ghosts. The effects in this movie, some were okay. Some were just not really that good. I think we both agreed that the Aldrich ghost, the ghost in the trailer in the beginning, that you see the lady, she's not bad. I mean, I know she's a real actress, that she was there.
I think I liked her a little better than
she was on
did.
set. She was actually on set. This wasn't full CG.
I really thought that she was beautifully done. When they pulled her up, I thought it was elegant, it was spooky.
What I think they did is after the trailer, they may have retouched up a bit on her coloring because they made her look a little more white blue. Like the R was a lot more like whitish blue rather than like the more neon blue in the trailer. So I think they touched up a bit, so it helped that they changed it. She wasn't
Absolutely.
like every other Ghostbusters movie is almost neon blue or green. So, but again, she wasn't bad. But we'll get into her in a minute too, because we'll talk about some of the negative things in this movie, things that don't make sense. She's one of them. And then there was the Ghost in the Concert, which everyone sees in the trailers as well. The what do we call it? The metal ghost or metal dragon ghost.
Metal dragon ghost.
Metal dragon ghost is what you dubbed it. Again, interesting kind of design, but the neon green just doesn't really fit for me.
And again, it popped for me. I thought the visuals.
The design wasn't bad, but it just doesn't do much. It flies around.
That's true. They really could have done a lot more.
It did something later, but again, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And then there were the floats that you see in the trailer. The floats were there. They were controlled by ghosts. Like, the ghosts were the helium in them, or whatever they use, the hot air. Because these are parade floats.
And that's the one that I'm going to have to get into later.
We will. There was also the period ghosts, what you call them, the different, like, pilgrims and stuff.
Right.
That you see in the trailer during the big climactic fight scene. And then there was the ghost in the subway, the prisoner, and down the subway. And the ghost effects were really mixed for me. Some worked, most didn't for me. And I got tired of seeing blue and green. It's like the only color scheme for a ghost can be blue or green. Every one of them. Every one of them.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
If you look at the original, at the very least, their ghosts had different colors.
It's true.
So I couldn't get behind the effects a lot. The cinematography in this was not good. The way they shot it, it was just kind of felt half-assed.
The animated series had a lot more time to work with, so therefore a lot more option for
well, we're talking about camera angles and that. Well, we're talking about... Well, yeah, but I agree. It doesn't help the ghosts either. It didn't help the ghosts either is the way they were shot a lot of the times. Like, you were talking about the scene with the Aldrich ghost, where the way it kind of pans toward, that worked okay.
Yeah.
But even still, that might have been one of the few scenes that was okay and kind of got that eerie kind of feeling when she's looking down and floating there like this.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the cinematography is just kind of flat, and it's kind of lazy, and it's stagnant, and it just doesn't work. Or they try to use these like intense moments where they zoom in on a character talking about something like it's intense and it's really not, or interesting and it's not.
Well, and that's not really the fault of the camera
That's
shot.
the
That's
director.
the fault.
No, it's still the director. The directing was bad in this.
It's the fault of the writing, I would say.
No.
It's meant to be.
Well, no, the directing takes care of the cinematography. The problem with the writing is everything else. So yeah, I don't know who. I have never seen Bridesmaids. You?
No.
Okay, we've never seen Bridesmaids. And the same, if I remember correctly, both of the people who write this, Paul Feig and I forget the name of the woman that co-wrote this with them, were the ones behind Bridesmaids. If this is the level of comedy, I'm glad I didn't see Bridesmaids. This was not good comedy. And it was definitely not a good Ghostbusters movie. Trying to think of the name else. The cameos are in them. I liked one, maybe two, to some extent, but most of them I'm not a fan of.
2. I'm going to have to go 2.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's the same 2 we're talking about. There's no one I can kind of tolerate, but there was just something said that bugged me about it.
Yes, the very
last
one.
cameo, yeah.
Yep.
And it's just the whole thing overall did not work for me. And while I think it's a mediocre movie, it's a bad Ghostbusters movie. And that's what angers me the most, is that it's a bad Ghostbusters movie. And had potential to be a good Ghostbusters movie. But they could not, for the life of them, get away from the original. They were, like, people got mad, and always get mad when people are talking about this movie that I've seen, that they're comparing it to the first one. Why do you compare it to the first one? It's supposed to be its own thing. Well, if the movie didn't do it, I wouldn't either.
Don't ask me how, but somehow I feel they managed to do both. They managed to both stick too close to the movie and pull too far away from it at the same exact time.
That was the problem. They didn't have their own identity. They tried to go
Yes.
for their own identity, and it wasn't a good identity in the first place, but they at least tried to go for their own identity a little bit, but they kept getting pulled back because they had to reference the old one, or have something from the old one done a little bit differently, and it goes right back every time to the old one, where it was a cameo, where it was a location that looked similar to an earlier scene from the first movie.
Not in clever ways.
No.
Not in...
There is nothing clever in this.
It's like they were giving advertisements just so that they
We'll
could
get to that,
reuse.
too. And that's another thing. They retread jokes.
Yeah.
My God, like a lot of jokes get done twice.
Reused, recycled. They didn't make it.
But it's not even just jokes from the from the first 2 movies. It's jokes from within the same movie get repeated.
Yes. That too.
Okay, the comedy in this. This is lowbrow. This is not. There's no subtlety in this movie. Subtlety does not exist in this at all.
I found the lack of intelligent jokes throughout the movie insulting.
No shit.
You know, I can deal with a fart joke every now and again, but come on.
Oh, yeah, and we're not joking. If you haven't seen the movie yet, there's a queef joke near the beginning. And here's the thing. A queef joke can be funny. This wasn't.
Not that it's a continuing gag, however, the continuance
I'm
of
happy
the
about that one, to
stupidity
be
of the
honest.
jokes.
I'm glad it wasn't done more than once, because it was
Yeah.
stupid. Basically, the guy goes, oh, we have an EVP here, and this is when Abby and Aaron are arguing, and Holtzman's there, and they tell her, come over, listen to this EVP, and they get her close to this tape. It's a bad joke. Spoiler on that, I guess. And they get over this tape, and it's an old real tape, and like have her listen to everything, and you listen, you hear, Vrr. And they start, they're chortling like idiots. Oh, it's so funny. It's like, okay, that's funny, that's mature. It's like, would it be even better if I told you it was from the front? It's like, and I looked at her, because I knew the joke was coming. I know everything about this movie going in, like the big spoilers and the plots and everything, the bad jokes. I knew this coming in.
I'd seen the trailer.
And I knew this joke was coming. And when it came up, I looked at her, and she looked at me. And what was your thought?
Why?
And I told her,
Just why?
and I told her that right there was the tone of the comedy in this movie.
It really was. It really was. Had it not been, that piece could have even been a funny, quirky piece of, oh, haha, girls joke about farts too.
I don't really, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. People's bodies make noises. That's a natural thing. You can joke about it. I can laugh at a fart joke. I just laugh at funny ones that have effort. This had no effort. The gag was they're being pissy with Aaron, who is honestly in the right here to be a bit upset that a book is released with her name on it without her permission.
Yeah.
And they're assholes to her, and they're making a joke at her expense. These are your heroes in this movie.
It's true.
Okay, really, we can't really talk much more without really getting into spoilers. We haven't really spoiled too much of anything for you guys.
It's true.
But basically, the villain is forgettable. His plan is stupid. The main characters are either meh to terrible. There are no redeeming characters in this. and we'll get into what you even said about this, what was the representation of men in this movie, and even the representation of women in this movie even. And we'll get to that. That was bad.
It's sad. It's just
bad.
sad.
And I wasn't a fan of the cinematography. It was poor. The effects were mediocre at best, with some shining, glimmering moments that could have been good if in the hands of a better director.
I might be easily amused, but I really enjoyed them.
You're easily amused. A better director, better writing, or at least a few more rewrites. Maybe, okay, more than a few, but more rewrites could have been done. And a lot less of the Sony bullshit, and a lot less product placement. This would have been maybe a better movie. But overall, I would say it's not worth seeing if you're a Ghostbusters fan, honestly. If you like the originals, you're probably not going to like this. If you're like me and grew up with them, and they were a big part of your childhood, you might come away offended at this one. If you've never seen a Ghostbusters movie, and this is your first Ghostbusters movie, you maybe want to watch the other ones, to be honest. But if you want to watch this one, I guess. And people might like this movie. And I understand, I guess, why some people might like this movie, because we had people in our theater, which weren't many, laughing at these jokes.
Sure.
And they work for some people. It didn't work for me at all. And you got some chuckles.
I did.
I don't know if I chuckled. I asked her if I chuckled, because I don't remember if I chuckled in anything.
There were a couple.
She remembers. I sure as hell don't.
There were a couple of moments that I would have loved to have adored the characters as they were acting at the moment had it not been for their lack of character elsewhere in the movie. Was really what it boiled down to for me to be like, oh yeah, she's dancing. Oh wait, this just happened. Sad.
Yeah, but overall, I'm not a fan. We'll give a final rating later after the spoiler section. But you?
That's all I've got. Thanks for having me.
Would you go see this again?
Would I go see this again?
Would you watch it on Netflix?
If someone else particularly wanted to see it, I would endure it. I would not seek it out.
I wouldn't do that much. Wouldn't even tolerate it. I'd leave the room. I'll go outside and I don't smoke. I'll pretend to smoke.
There you go.
But I wouldn't go see this movie is my recommendation. And that's the first time on this channel I think I've actually said that I wouldn't go see this movie to anyone else. But if you want to go see it, I'm not going to stop you. If you happen to like it, good for you.
He'll be at your door.
Yeah, sure. You have horrible taste. Comedy is subjective and you're wrong. But no, this wasn't a movie for me at all. If you think it's a movie for you, have at it. You might enjoy it. I think it's lowbrow humor, and that if this was to empower women, women deserved fucking better.
Yes.
My daughter deserved fucking better if this was supposed to be a movie for her. There's a reason I didn't bring her to see it. There's a reason I brought her to see it. I don't mind her getting, beaten up and bashed by a bad movie. I care if my daughter does.
Thanks, man.
Hey, I paid for it. You didn't.
I still spent too much.